Oh. We are live. Welcome to the Steak Knife Show. I'm Tim Schindel.
I'm Sean Foster.
We are caffeinated and we are rolling.
We're getting caffeinated.
Yes.
I am. I have not caffeinated yet. I'm hydrated.
Hydrated, caffeinated, qualified, certified, bona fide.
Trained today. Got mauled by a bunch of kids today. But
Yeah, I was going to say. There was 4 children. Stop the old flipper floppers off there.
Wrong show.
Or is it the right show?
Who
You
knows?
tell us.
While you're trying to figure out what the fuck we're going to talk about, I want to point out that I adore that most of our comments is people shit talking us.
Oh, yeah. Player hate his ball in the comments, please. Hate from America.
Hate
right
it.
here, right now.
I need it. It fuels me.
Yeah.
Also, I am petty. I think I've said it in every episode. I'm immediately gonna go look at your stuff and make fun of you for what you're doing. The most recent comment, look at these 2 stay-at-home dads. First off, I wish we could. If I could stay at home and be a dad, that's the best thing ever. I'd do nothing but train.
Yeah, why do you think I'm on the internet whoring myself? Pay my bills.
I wish. Man,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
For that. But hilarious that you're like, I love that every white guy that can scrounge 2 pennies together think he's going to do a podcast. Go to your channel and you are a first-person shooter streamer, and you're not even that good. You had like 1 clutch match or something.
Be more
Hilarious.
entertained if you were holding like a 1980s video camera, shooting yourself, doing something, anything else. Maybe some cardio.
I thought you were going
I
way,
know.
way.
I think you thought it was going real dark, didn't you?
I was
That was
like,
going like page.
Oh my God.
Page 5, right? If you don't know what I'm talking
but
about,
no,
that's Deep
absolutely.
Tracks on the Hub.
Please come make fun of us. And then if
Yeah.
you ever really think that you got something better, we live in Columbus, Ohio. We train everywhere. I'll meet you. He'll meet you. You can come beat us up.
Yeah,
It's a lot of fun. We might even be friends after.
maybe. Yeah.
I'm gonna take my pound of flesh, but we'll be friends. Like, be good. So, did you think of something to talk about?
No, I haven't forced any organic conversations today.
Man, it's those micro adjustments. You're not wait, no, you're past white belt now.
I am.
Were you in jiu-jitsu for that whole thing where white
What?
belt tapped like a high level belt and then like put it on the internet and talked about his micro adjustments, and it like split the jiu-jitsu community down the middle over like whether or
No.
not like he got turned into a joke, and then some people tried to defend it, and then like the black belt had to come in and be like, he's a good dude, like you guys shouldn't be so mean. Like
No, I know
if you ever
nothing.
hear somebody say micro adjustments and they wink at you, it's from that.
Hmm.
And it's very much like this organic conversation, cultivating organic conversation.
Free range, pay us more.
Pay for anything.
Yeah.
Like, pay for the coffee. I don't care.
Yeah, really.
Where do we get our coffee from?
Thunderkiss. We get our beans from Thunderkiss.
Not Redbird?
No, not
Oh.
yet.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, Thunderkiss is local. They're pretty
support
sweet.
local anything.
Yeah, they are. So we trained today for like 2.5 hours.
I have no concept of time. I don't know why
Yeah.
you look at me and ask me these questions.
No, we trained for about 2.5 hours today, which is something I needed. I haven't trained like consistently, like in that like a time frame for a while.
Where we were last year, we were closing gyms down. Like we were like
Yeah.
we'd go
Yeah.
to like whatever 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. open mat, then
Mhm.
10 a.m. to 11 class, jet over to another
Yep.
gym, do their class, roll, shower, like do the whole thing over in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, which is how I wish it was. That's why the comment stings. Your comment didn't hurt because it was real. Your comment hurt because it wasn't real. If I was a stay-at-home dad and like I could provide for my kids and not drag them to every gym, I would go train all the time. It's literally when I go on vacation, the first thing I do is look up where I'm going to train, and then
Yeah,
I reach
that's
out and be like, "Hey, I'm coming. When's your funnest class?" You know how hard it is to get somebody to commit to what their funnest class is? Like,
There you go. There's the boner that popped up while you sat on my lap. Traveling and training. That's a good one.
stand by. I believe
there
we're
are
about to get
children
dogs
and
and my babies.
Children. Yes, dogs and children.
Hi,
Hello.
Alfie. Hi. Hey, baby.
Hello.
This
Hello.
What was that?
What was that?
That was the power cable. All right, we're back. The dogs. The
Not the
dags.
kids, dogs.
Dags.
Not the kids.
That's super tight. Hold.
I'm sure this will stay in the video for whatever reason. Right now. Are you going to leave it in?
Yeah.
Like, till the end? Till fruition?
Maybe.
Completion? What else? What other words are used to finish?
Climax.
Climax. There's climax.
Leave it until the climax.
Leave it until the climax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, training in other cities.
Pack both, gi and no gi.
Agree.
Look up more than one gym, and
Yep.
if you can, train at more than one gym.
Yeah.
And be super respectful. Like, contact them before. Like, don't just kind of like show up the day of. And contact them through multiple avenues. Some people use Instagram more.
Mhm.
Some people answer their emails more. Some people will answer their work phone, like the phone they have listed. But, explain where you're from, what your rank is, what your, hey, I just want to float in. My experience has been pretty good. Like, I think I've only had one that wasn't good, and I was like, I'm not really feeling it. Like, and then I went down the road and found another gym, and it was immediately better.
I've had a similar experience. Like when I've traveled, like I just say like, "Hey, can I drop in?" Also, like he's saying, like just because somebody's the face of a gym doesn't mean that they're the person who actually manages that type of thing.
Yeah.
They may not be the first person in the gym.
And
So-
ask them like what a drop-in fee is, or like, and half the time, like, if it is truly, if you're just going to be there for like a hot second, like especially like if they're like, oh, our open mat is where we have the most bodies and we have the most fun. A lot of open mats don't charge,
Yeah.
but you should absolutely buy a T-shirt, buy a tank top,
Yep.
buy a sweatshirt, buy a hat, buy something.
guard,
You should be one, a good visitor, and then two, like you should rep the places that you like. And wearing a hat, wearing a T-shirt means nothing. It doesn't mean that you're part of their team or anything, but like just takes a little bit of pride in the work. And like a lot of cool shit that I've been shown on the road at open mats,
Yeah.
like ends up paying dividends
Hmm.
elsewhere. Like, so again, if you travel, pack both. You should try to do both. The only thing I don't know what the culture is really for sparring in terms of striking.
Yeah. That's
And like, I think the only MMA team that I've ever kind of like dabbled with was Mat Factory in Pittsburgh.
okay.
And like I trained there a few times. Like I'm pretty close with the owner and the other black belts, Isaac Greeley and Schaefer, and like I feel really welcome there. So that's what. And the MMA was nothing. Like it was literally they were wearing MMA gloves and like we were kind of miming strikes, which I felt super honored because they have Dempsey's from UFC's in there, like, and they're all getting ready for fights. They have a very active roster. Like if I could pick any gym to like train at consistently, it would be Mat Factory. It's one of some of my favorite people on the face of the planet. The culture and the vibe that they have there is beyond like everything that I would ever want from a gym. Like I just have such a love for that gym, and I mean any excuse that I have to go to Pittsburgh and train with them, I absolutely will. Even half the time I'm going to fight somebody from Pittsburgh, and like they're like, let's tune you up and let's get you sharp, and like it's wonderful people.
I was gonna say that's one of the gyms that I really want to go to. Is Mat Factory.
Yeah, I brought it up to you a few times. We should
Yeah.
definitely do like a 4-day like road trip or something.
Yeah.
Although taking off work that long would be hard for us both. Maybe.
We'd figure it out.
I mean, if we could shift our schedule. I don't know how that works with the girl. Already the logistics. Again, logistics is like my fear word.
Yeah. But no, when you train, seek out gyms to train in. That's actually something that Jason and I were talking about today.
Oh,
Jason
yeah.
Apt.
You interviewed one of my best friends, Jason Apt. He used to run the Columbus State Self-Defense Program with me and Devin. And then my department, my police department, he he was the college's strength and conditioning coach for the sports teams. But like we made so much headway and we broke so much ground with the self-defense program that they paid for him to go to Gracie Survival Tactics so he could teach the officers with this. And it just never worked out with his schedule and ours, but like we were building towards it, and then COVID hit and we really lost a lot of steam.
COVID killed a lot of stuff.
And so, but I mean, it's going to come out, so I don't know that we need to talk. You don't need to.
Well, no, I was just going to say, like, he said, he's like, you know, like, if I travel, he's like, I instantly have a connection with people in the location that I go to because I can go train. Mm-hmm. And that's an aspect of it that we talked about, was what you can do on the mats doesn't lie.
Yeah.
So if you walk in and you are a certain belt, like, people will figure it out pretty quickly. Like, you don't have to tell people like what you are unless it's gi, and then they're gonna know. And even then, like,
what kind of belt are you? Are you competitive? Are you like a tie-in? Like,
like, and
I think the only time that I've ever been like, was after I got my black belt, but I went down to Kansas City, and I trained at a gym I'd never trained before, and they were all getting ready. Actually, I found it from Go Forth. I found it through, they sponsor one of the female blue belts there, and she said that she ran a gym in Kansas City on her Instagram. So I was like, oh, like, I'm going down there. I reached out, came through, and like they beat the shit. I did not feel like a black belt, but thankfully, thankfully their black belt watched me like roll, and he's like, oh man, like, you're just injured. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, why didn't you say you were injured? And I was like, because Mama didn't raise no bitch. Like, I wasn't trying to that feels like such a bitch out move. Like, oh, I'm a visiting black belt, but take it easy.
Yeah,
like,
I'm injured. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was like, why? And I said, oh, I wanted some good rounds, and I fucking got them. Oh my God. I've never felt like less of a black belt, but like, again, back to that ego talk from a long couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
Cause what are you titling Jason's?
He's going to be episode 22. This is 23.
Okay. I didn't know how you were working. If you were going to start doing interviews and name it something else.
Not yet.
Okay.
I ain't that special.
I don't know. The way that you cultivate dialogue.
Organically.
Naturally.
Yeah. It's the only
on the internet.
It's the only thing I can make. It's the only thing I can make grow. Oh, you take that as you will, you perverts.
Yes. So did we answer your question about traveling and training?
No, we did. That satisfies. You act like we trained for like almost 3 hours today. I don't understand.
Yeah. I let the kids throw me. They all hit big hip tosses today. So that was cool. And then
you did some fun tumbling stuff with them too.
Well, the best thing that grappling can give you is learn how to fall.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Saved my life. 2 motorcycle wrecks, and I was in tank top, short shorts, and boat shoes for one of them. The other one, I think I had my riding pants on, but I was in a vest and not riding boots. The one where I was wearing next to nothing was 35 miles an hour, and I got clipped by a 15-year-old from behind, scraped up the right side of my bike. And then the other one at 55 miles an hour, this motherfucker came across 5 lanes of traffic on the highway completely sideways out onto my exit, and I T-boned him and got launched into a ditch. I'm not saying that I'm not incredibly lucky, but knowing how to fall absolutely saved me. I didn't even lose a tattoo. I didn't scrape any skin off. Like, lost my bike though. And then Ohio being just such a great state, because I struck him from behind.
Yeah.
My fault. Insurance wouldn't cover it.
Yep.
Wild.
So, learning how to fall. Arguably one of the most, I would say, underrated skills in jiu-jitsu. Like, even in
grappling, judo,
in
wrestling.
grappling, because like you watch and there are videos of people just getting their shit broken because they're not falling correctly.
Dude, I was the day before we were just working up a sweat because we had to lose a couple more pounds. Floyd Cisco, we had a young kid, really good wrestler, and Floyd had just been getting taken down the whole time by this kid.
Yeah.
And Floyd he was like, I'm not getting taken down today. And I was like, bud, just roll with it, man. Who cares? Just make him stand up. Wear him out by standing up all the time, right?
Right.
And Floyd decided to put his arm out, and he fucking dislocated that shit. Like, it was horrific. And of course, like, his title fight scrapped next day.
Yeah.
Never got a chance to fight for the title. Like, he never really recovered from it. Like, I mean, like, knowing how to fall in day-to-day life. Like, if you're on a ladder, you fall down the stairs. Knowing how to fall, and then, like, if you have a baby, I've seen some people slip on stairs with babies. And just understanding, like, how to, like, relax or how to ball up and protect what you're holding. I took the Dottie and Isla and Bishop, our Rottweiler, to the waterfall over at the quarry.
Yeah.
And Isla was doing headstands next to the waterfall pit. And Bishop saw another dog that she thought she recognized and ripped through, and the leash caught Isla and front flipped her into that pool of water. And it was too cold to be in that water.
Yeah.
But, like, Isla's, like, immediately popped up. She said, "I'm okay." Like, I was like, thank God. Yeah. Oh, my God. Like, because it looked like a bad fall.
Yeah.
Like, you know, just stuff like that. Like, the gifts that jiu-jitsu gives you that isn't grappling are so, they're sometimes so subtle or so intangible, it's hard to articulate them. And, like, a big one is, like, being comfortable in uncomfortable spots, right? When you are being crushed by somebody, again, the demon that haunts my dreams, and I know a couple other black belts' dreams, is Saran. Saran at my gym is the biggest Thai guy I have ever seen. Like, giant Asian guy.
Yeah.
And, like, the sweetest guy on the face of the planet. Welcoming, nice, soft-spoken, well-mannered, all that stuff. Until you slap bump. And that man has mauled me since I was a blue belt. And I will never forget that one of the worst injuries I ever caught. And it was to know nothing that he did outside of he was rolling. I prided myself on my half guard, got locked in, and I was just trying to just stay in there with him, like just hold him down. And he looked down and he said, "Sean, I'm done with this." And he decided that he was going to open my half guard. And we did by pulling my hip out of the socket. I was out. I was out for like 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
Like, and I had to do a bunch of, like, intensive rehab and get it popped back in. Like, it was horrific. But, like, that's my true nightmare. Like, a huge person who's a good black belt and doesn't give a shit about your small guy jiu-jitsu. And just being like, every time he asks me to roll, I'm just like, fuck, yes. And I know I'm going to go get my ass whooped, but, like, that kind of, it's an intangible thing that is, like, I know that, like, I will always say yes and I will always roll, even when I know I don't have it in me to. And the grit it gives you, which it's more of a gut check in jiu-jitsu, whereas the sport that really cultivates grit is wrestling. High school, grade school wrestling.
Absolutely.
If you have it in you to make your kids stay in it when they don't want to, oh my God! Like they will come out so mentally tougher, and especially if you make them, it makes them coachable.
Mm-hmm.
Like taking on constructive criticism, like stuff like that. That's why I'm so excited. The girls are really pushing to go back into wrestling this year, which I am about. Like,
I was gonna say, I've had a couple people that wrestled work for me, and they're like some of the easier people to just be like, "You need to do this," and I'm like, "All right."
Okay.
Like, there's no like.
That's where
my ego's in the way. Like, yeah. Okay,
that's
bro.
literally where that
like,
catchphrase that I tell you all the time. Like, when you tell me to do something, like, it's gonna look like dog shit, but it'll get done.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally what my wrestling coach used to tell me, because he was like, "That looks like dog shit, but you won." And I said, "Cool, that works." Like,
I won, right?
Yeah.
Like that's all. That's what you were going for, right?
Absolutely. But yeah, the intangible stuff that you can get from grappling, but specifically jiu-jitsu, jiu-jitsu's good, can go, it just constantly seesaws from, like, can be very hard. Like, it's always funny to me, it's called the gentle art. Like, I've never broken more things.
I was gonna say, like, right now, like, there's a lot of things that hurt.
Crunchy.
Yeah, I'm like crunchy and like some like latent injuries that are just kind of there from other stuff, like, or there from jiu-jitsu.
The thing that annoys me is the injuries. Like some days I'll just step weird and my toe will come out.
Yeah.
And then for the day,
Yeah.
it's just dislocated until like it's usually if I get home and I get a chance to fire up video games. Currently playing Hades, waiting for Hades 2. But like if I can like stretch at the right moment and like pop, everything will go cacao, and I'm like, whoo! I'm like, oh, it's back. All right, we're back in business. Like, sweet.
I was gonna say, like, my shoulders specifically right now, my shoulders, both of them, have been like toast, and like I'll just like pull them, kind of like
My tennis elbow.
yeah.
Like sometimes my elbow is just out. Like or maybe there's an air pocket that needs to pop. I don't know what it is, but and these are also gifts from jiu-jitsu. Like, and I say it in such a funny way. Like, you just do stuff hurt. That's what we were talking about earlier. Like Jason's ankle got popped really bad today.
Yeah.
And you just do it. You just show up and do it hurt. Like, I'm okay. That sucks.
We're not talking like these are low level injuries. Could they turn into something else? Sure, anything can.
Oh, they can accumulate too.
They can accumulate, but what I'm saying is like, are you hurt or are you injured? Because if you're hurt, then we can talk about different things. If you're just moderately injured, like,
do you have those
pass.
backwards?
Probably.
I think hurt is the lesser.
Yeah. Are
Like
you hurt?
like when you
injured?
stub your toe,
Yeah.
that hurt really bad.
Yeah.
But
Like,
did you snap your toe as it facing sideways? That's an injury.
that's absolutely, yeah, you're correct. Yeah, I did have it backwards. Thank you, dyslexia.
It worked. I got to be the smart one.
You did.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, are you hurt or are you injured? Are you hurt and it's going to like pass? Like, is it a boo-boo? Is it contusion? Like, is it something like that? Like, is it just something you didn't know happens and your body does that every once in a while? That's like a pretty normal
The big
thing.
ones are the ones that I always push through that I regretted the stitches later were cuts. Nah, it's just
Yeah.
blood. We'll super glue it. That's my answer immediately. I have no idea how bad the cut is. People are making faces. I'm like, we'll just glue it.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want training's really good right now. Now you got my blood flowing. Like, I
Yeah.
really want to I'm in it
You wanna
now.
go,
Let's
yeah.
go. Like, and they're like, you should go to the hospital. I'm like, we'll just throw some super glue there.
Yeah. Luckily, I haven't been cut that bad. No. Put a pin
Where's
in
the
that.
wood to knock on?
Yeah, right. This is particle board. Sure.
That's cardboard.
There you go. That's wood. Touch. Yeah. But yeah, like, I don't know. There's definitely like something to be said about that, like, grindiness, and like that goes back to like why when we go to different places, like, we train different places. Like, I'm always looking to touch and like find other people to like touch up with, because I think it's interesting. Like, it lends back to our profession too. Like, it's I find what we do sometimes interesting because we get to make contact with somebody. Like, I'll never in a million years have a reason to fight that person.
We had a guy this weekend who, like, drunk, had a huge gash, and he was just like, "Don't touch me." And we were like, bud, you got to get off the end of the bed. Like, it's about to tip over. And he's
Yeah.
like, don't. And every time we brought the needle close, he's like, I was like, oh, shit, we better grab a hold of that man before he hurts himself. Like, but I mean, where else am I going to see it? Who else is going to do that? Like,
No one.
and then trying to fight somebody who is like that, who's trying to be wiggly and like jerky and stuff like that. Like, it just kind of goes back to, like, I think I told you that today. I said, hey, you don't need to control me. I need you to go for a submission.
Yeah.
This is boring. This isn't going to work for me anymore. Like, training with you is kind of sucking because you're just kind of getting control and staying there, and I'm working out eventually.
Yeah.
We both know I'm going to get out, but like, you're just kind of stalling it, and I can see you're collecting data. Like, oh, this would definitely work at work. We're not at work, but you need to hunt some submissions. Like, and it's one of the things I really enjoy with Jason, because Jason's knocking that rust off.
Yeah.
And Jason, like, all these, like, and every time, like, he has, like, moments of greatness, he caught, like, turf toe, and then, like, took his foot off the gas for a while. He's just playing it super safe, and I was like, bud, you're like, we're on this, we're gaining momentum. Like, let's keep going.
Yeah.
Like, the old you's there. It's like, we're just brushing it off.
Yeah.
And I really hope that, like, I'm just going to bully him. I'm just going to make terrible fun of him. Be like, you better show the fuck up. Plus, he's going on vacation next week, so he's going to be gone for a week. Pussy. Like,
Do you think he's going to train at other gyms?
No, I think Jason's gonna enjoy his 2 daughters and his wife. And he's gonna drink and he's gonna
blue
eat
pill.
good
Yeah.
food. I think that's what Jason's gonna do. I don't know where he's going. Sometimes I know once a year they go out to like boring ass Kansas, and I'm from Kansas City, so I know it's like true. Like Jason doesn't ever text people. Without fail, while driving through boring ass Kansas, he's like, "I'm so fucking bored," and I'm like, "I get it. I've done that."
I lived in Missouri for several years and then been through Kansas a couple times and around Kansas. It is one of the most boring.
It's such a weird thing to say,
Yes.
boring, because like you see green, you see blue, and I get it, like, and everything's flat and you can see for miles, but it is ungodly boring. It's the worst state,
and what's
not
weird
in
is,
state,
like,
just in terms of like.
Like the surrounding areas of it are like amazing.
Yeah.
Arkansas is amazing. Missouri, like southwest Missouri, northwestern Arkansas.
Yeah.
Like there's mountains, there's White
And when
River
you get
rafting.
to the far,
it's
when
like
you get to the
beautiful.
far west
there's
side
like,
of Kansas, there's dunes, there's sand
Yes.
dunes, like.
Yeah.
But like
It's-
the
middle
all of
is
Kansas, I would
terrible.
say 85% of Kansas is the most boring place on earth.
Yeah, we drove through there and it was just like rocking our car with wind. And I was like, this is just, and it was like beating the car. And like, this was before we even lived there. And I was like, this is why people hate this place. And my parents were like, yes.
Well,
Like-
now gets a little spicy if you're like a good storm's coming through because
Yeah.
there's no shelter.
No,
It's
there's
you
not. Yeah.
facing that storm, and you're like, I hope it doesn't come my way. Like,
That's absolutely true. Like we rolled through there. There was some bad weather. I'll never forget. We rolled through there on a Sunday and pulled off the highway to a Dairy Queen. And that was like, it was a Pizza Hut and a Dairy Queen. And I'm not knocking any of those establishments because those were the only things that were available. So we went to the Dairy Queen. We sat down before anybody got there. Church let out. Everybody came in their church clothes. My mom had ordered like soup, and this was like homemade soup that was on their menu, but was definitely not something like anywhere else you would ever find at a Dairy Queen.
Yep.
And we got dirty looks like we were at somebody's table
yep.
from like a Sunday. Like this, I don't even remember what city it was. It was like the middle of nowhere. One traffic away.
I love that everybody without fail immediately knows the dirty looks that you get from the church crowd.
Yeah.
And I love that the church crowd is so openly judgy after leaving a sermon that definitely said you shouldn't judge people.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You should be kind to people.
Yeah, they were absolutely. It was pretty funny. Like there's people in like their suits, like, like who are these people?
Got these drifters here.
Yeah, these heathens passing through.
They don't
Like,
know the Lord's work.
Okay. But yeah. All right.
How much is that with the snafu earlier? How long is this one going to be?
It's like 30 minutes long.
Holy shit.
So, say the thing.
Stay whimsical. Stay combative.
I'm the chubby one. I'm not a stay-at-home dad. Keep the hate coming. See you next time.
Ba-doop.